Hi, you're welcome. I am Hayo, and I'm very, very happy to have you. And we get to do this. Okay. I've seen this thing somewhere where they say that attitude is everything, and then have this funny math stuff to defend it. To say if you take every letter in the alphabet to be the equivalent of the value of their position, to say letter A is 1, and then letter B is 2, and then letter Z is 26, and you add them together, you have attitude, A-T-T-I-T-U-D-E, A-T-T-I, T-U-D-E, attitude, and then you have it. At the end of the day, if you take E for 5, A for 1, T for maybe 20 or 19, and things like that, and you add it all up, at the end of the day, you have 100. So they say that attitude is only that gives you 100%. Okay, so you say attitude is everything. Now, attitude is simply your response, the pattern, your set pattern of response to events or things or people or circumstances. Attitude is the pattern of your perspective mixed with your responses or reactions to particular things or events or people or circumstances. So, which means that at the end of the day, maybe they're right, maybe attitude is everything. Because then you have people, if you put 10 people through the same set of circumstances, the same food and feeding, everything, even if you are from the same place, even if you were, expose 10 people to the same thing, more or less, as much as you can do, you will not have the same outcome. The only way that you make you have the same outcome with those 10 people is if you simply expose them to the same training. But assuming that there's no training, you leave them to themselves, you just engineer their circumstance, they will all come out with different results, even from the same circumstance. And then everyone will be amazed as to why that is. Why would this person succeed in spite, and then the other person is unable to succeed because? So this person is able to succeed despite A, this person is able to succeed in spite of A, this person is unable to succeed because of A. Why? What is the issue? A remains constant. So why is this person able to succeed, and then why is this other person unable to succeed? It will come down to attitude. And I want to explain this because even if you put healthy people in the same room, in the same situation, some people still end up making money and succeed in life. Some people don't make money or succeed in life as much as would have been loved or expected. And to put this in proper perspective for you, I remember that when I was younger, one of the things that I had issues with is, for example, when I'm reading a book, I'm afraid that, for example, if the author says that this set of people are terrible or will not succeed because of these reasons, I'm afraid, because I'm hoping I am one of the people that the author says will succeed. Or I'm hoping I'm not one of the people the author says will not succeed. So I'm afraid. And so definitely, I'm saying it because when you look at this title and you're listening to me, you're hoping probably that I hope I don't end up with chicken because I hope I don't end up being ostrich. I hope I'm just the eagle. Because if I'm the eagle, then that's just fine. No, you're not the chicken or the ostrich or the eagle because I say so. That's number one. You are the chicken or the ostrich or the eagle because that is what you do. That is how you express your life over time. So it's not about it. So even if the bird that is called chicken now, if you change its name to eagle, it still will not fly. So what we know as rose now, if you are to call it any other name, it will still smell like rose. First point. Second point is that the way man is made, the way you are made, you are able to make things, and so you are able to create, so you are able to remake yourself. You kind of have the superpower to become whoever you want to become. It's like saying that for real, you govern your destiny. Second point, as I, introduce. All right. The other thing, the third point is that it is not a one-way street. All right. There are phases of your life. I mean, there are facets of your life. There are dispensations, and there are avenues for expressions in your life. You have your family life, you have the business, you have your career, you have your physical and fitness. So you could be an eagle with your finance, but you are a serious chicken with your health and your physical fitness. You could be an eagle with your family, but you are a chicken with your social standing. I mean, so it's not one size fits all. It's a compendium. It's like to say, at the end of the day, we've summed it up. You are 50% eagle, 30% ostrich, and 20% chicken. That's that kind of a thing. Or okay, we found out that in the 6 important areas of your life, 2 you are eagle, 2 you are ostrich, 2 you are chicken. That's probably what it would look like if there was ever going to be a simulation of this kind of results. I mean, if we were to put this to a test and to say a research, a study report, probably this is what probably come up with. So bear in mind those 3 points as I explained. The most important of all of those points is that you have the ability to remake yourself. So this is basically supposed to be a session that simply puts you in front of a mirror. All right. I'm not here. All right. I'm not even saying anything. I'm just putting together a mirror, and you're standing right in front of the mirror, and then when I'm done, you're able to see yourself, and then you're able to see whether you like what you see, and then you're able to design and discern and decide that you want to make changes to specific areas of your life. It's as simple as that. All right. So let's talk about the first type, the chicken. You fear and you run. You have wings but you don't fly. You scratch the ground. You're looking for get-bys, and you cackle a lot. You have well-worded opinions about everything. Let me see. Yes, saying your mind is your area of strength and focus. I say my mind. You know me. People say, you know me. I always say my mind. You know me. I always say my mind. Okay, so hold on. Okay, I'm not saying it's wrong to say I will say my mind. I mean, you should say your mind, but it should not be the only thing that you do. You should not only express your mind. You should manifest your being as well. Yeah. So it's not that it's wrong to do that. It's just bad if that's the only thing that you do all the time. So you're always saying your mind. All right? And because you see, people can start. A chicken can fly. It just doesn't fly long enough. I don't know why. I have to assume. I really have to be able to believe and assume that if something has wings and can lift off the ground for, say, 30 seconds, that thing should be able to stay off ground for another 30 seconds. If that thing stays off ground for that thing should be able to stay off ground for 30 minutes. If you can stay off ground for 30 minutes, naturally, you are a flying bird. Some birds migrate for days. Some birds do not migrate. So flight time for birds also differ. Point is, are you able to fly enough so that you are not perpetually on ground? Are you able to fly enough so that you can perch on tall places? You don't see birds in the sky all the time. But one of the ways that you know that they fly is that they occupy positions that are difficult to climb. So you chicken out of all your ventures and you have fancy words to explain why you have never tried in your life, I mean. And then you complain a lot and you don't even know it. Have you seen people like that? They don't know they complain. They don't even know they complain. Have you ever seen people who there's always somebody in fancy words? I mean, and they were saying fancy words. There's always a circumstance that they blame for their predicament in very eloquent words, with very eloquent words. Very articulate words. They can explain to you why their life is miserable. They can tell you what would have happened if something had not happened. Or they are able to tell you what they would have done if only some things had been in place. And then they go on and on like that. Alright? Excuse makers. The thing about excuse is not even that they are not enough. No, it's not that they are not enough. I don't think my problem with excuses are that maybe they are not enough, like say, that excuse is not genuine enough, or is that your excuse? No, that's not even my own angle. My own angle is when I put the desired results beside the excuse, do I like what I see? So excuse is something that I have, and occupies a space in my head or in my hands that is hindering me from grabbing or grasping what I desire. So when I see what I desire and I see the excuse, I have to decide that I don't like that excuse, and then so I leave the excuse, and then I leave the excuses, and then I run towards, and then I get myself obsessively focused on getting the things that I desire. So I leave the excuses. Yeah, I have excuses. I had them. They were there, but I do not like them. I prefer my desired results. Yeah. So a chicken will take excuses and polish it and paint it and stack them upon themselves and make a very fine edifice of the excuses. Some people's excuses can even shield them from rain. Like, can so arrange the excuses so much that they can just sit inside the excuses, and then they are shielded from scrutiny, they are shielded from judgment. In fact, some people can even use excuses to attract pity. Excuses may be fantastic things for chickens. That's a chicken. All right. Now let's go to the ostrich. So, the ostrich, tall bird, tall. The ostrich egg is the biggest cell presently known to humanity, like a single cell that is deep. So the egg like this, if you give an egg like this, that's the big. So imagine such entity, tall, strong, long legs. It's a flightless bird, so it does not fly. It doesn't even lift off ground the way a chicken can even lift off ground and things like that. But it has speed that rivals that of zebras, speed. So imagine speed, imagine strength, imagine height, imagine size. You will think that this person may lack in certain areas, but you would also be able to say that this person has also been made up, in other areas to compensate for areas in which this person is lacking. So you want to say, oh, thou great ostrich. But guess what? When issues come, this supposed bird, this supposed person that could literally rule the world, when issues come, this person prefers to bury his head in the sand. The whole body, the biggest part, is all above surface, but it puts the head in the ground, and it's like to say, if I shut it off, if I don't need to do anything about it, if I simply stop feeling the existence of the things I need to change, then maybe they will just change, or maybe they will just go away. Now you may think that is pretty much silly, but one of the things that you need to realize is that, as silly as it sounds, that's what a lot of people do. You see, putting your head in the sand is an activity in itself. So it's not like you're not doing anything. It's just that you're not doing what you are supposed to do. You're not facing your fears. You're not going all out. You're not facing your issues point blank. You are not all out for to resolve your matter. You want to drown in the noise of entertainment. You want to drown in the noise of entertainment. You want to watch movies and pretend that you don't have problems. You want to engage in other activities that take your mind off your problems. No, that's not how it works. If you want to succeed in life, the way it works is to decipher what set of activities will solve your problems or change your life, and then arrange them in other priorities and begin to execute. So yes, you get tired. Yes, every once in a while you may want to rest, but at least you have to face the activities that will set your life at liberty. Simple. So a brother has long strikes, powerful kicks, that is agile and alert, resolves to noise, resolves to distractions, instead of applying his or herself. So you just want to be not an ostrich. You just want to not be an ostrich. And then finally, the eagle. I like this, and I want to mention this because when people see, the eagle is a popular bird, and then so what people see when they see you, eagles, is that they think that you have it all figured out. They think that you are privileged. They think that you have trust fund. You have parents that were more liberal. They allowed you to follow your dream. You have parents that are more encouraging. They just think all sorts. They just think, no. Because sometimes even the way you carry yourself sometimes may make you look as if you don't have problems. Sometimes you're able to smile, and then you're not necessarily, you are focused and fast and clinical, but you're not aggressive in your flight. It's not, sometimes it does not look like you're struggling, but you're working at. And then they think, you're just soft. No, if it's just soft like that, it's because this, it's because that, and so it's just soft. Oh wow. Now, the truth is that it's not if you ever had any privilege, if an eagle ever has any privilege, an eagle person ever has any privilege, it's the privilege of wisdom. And wisdom is not scarce to anybody. Wisdom is all over the place. Maybe you're not paying attention, so you're not learning wisdom. But wisdom, if you are a reader of the Bible, as a very, 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 as a very good book, that's filled with lots of stuff. It says that wisdom shouts in the streets. That is, wisdom is beside you. Wisdom is shouting at you. That the one who is not listening. People that you can consider as eagle are people who understand that the consistent growing and the continuous application of knowledge and understanding to the issues of one's life, while gaining more knowledge and understanding as you observe and record and learn from failures, is what guarantees success. So you find the wisdom, and then you apply it, and then you take more lesson and information from that application, and then you add it to the wisdom with which you started at the beginning, and then you now apply the new one, that is the old wisdom and the new information. Then now apply it. As you apply it, you get another information and results and assessment, and then you apply it, and then you add it, and then you apply it again, and then you get more information, and then you get more insight, and then you take the insight, and then you add it up to what you applied in just now, and then you have more things to apply, and then you take the more things to apply, and then you go to another place, and then you apply it. That's all. So you have a problem, you want to solve it. That's the good attitude. Whilst you're solving it, you're learning. Yeah, you can end up solving that problem. Oh, good, glory to God. But sometimes maybe you don't learn, maybe you don't solve it. So you learn how not to solve a problem. So you add it to the solutions, you just suppose, you rearrange, you say, okay, and then you see another, you set another problem on the horizon, you go towards that problem, and then you try to solve it. It's solved or not solved, you learn, you take it, and then you go on. Before you know it, they look at you and say that wow, you're doing so well. Whereas you have simply learned that all that you need to do, that you have just one simple job. Your job is to rise above situations, rise above circumstances, rise above reproach, rise above disrespect, rise above gluttony, rise above indiscipline, rise above. You just knew that. So it's raining, rise above the clouds. I mean, that's what the eagle does. He simply knows, and he realized that once he rises above, that place is calmer. You can see farther. You can see more. You can enjoy experiences. They just know. And this is the reason why people must, imbibe the attitude that helps them to achieve more. It's as simple as that. So when you do all of this, people look at you and they feel like, wow, you're so real, girl. It's like people look at you with admiration. It is not that you came from anything spectacular. It's because you simply knew that all you had to do was rise above. And the way to rise above was to consistently learn and apply. Okay, to first of all learn that nothing is difficult. It is capacity that is not enough, right? If there's no way you would run and then fly as a human being, all right? But an aeroplane will run and fly. Different in capacity, different in build. So while you able to build yourself with capacity and the shape of an aeroplane or a bird, you just will fly. So this is what you realize. So what you would do is to take your life into perspective and then decide ways and manners in which you're going to stop being an ostrich and stop being a chicken and then become more like the eagle. It's pretty much very, very simple. It is finding those areas and then apply yourself to those areas with the right attitude. Because once you do this, let me give you an example, and this is interesting. This is really interesting. So I read a book a long time ago, and the book was about Israel as a startup nation, and he explained how Israel has a lot of successful startups. And there was an account of people who CEOs in America, startup founders in America, who met with Israeli founders and were astonished and were like, wow. And then over time, they realized that there was a national culture, for success. Good. And then they also realized that there was also a military training that was incumbent into their lifestyle. Every young Israeli person at some point, if you're elderly, would have to have served in the nation's army or paramilitary and so forth. I think for 2 years or 18 months or thereabout. Point is, you serve, which means that you go through training and then it's now been. That's one book. Another other information is that they realize that when veterans, soldiers, army officers, when they leave, when they retire, or when they stop being army officers and then go into business, they see that they always succeed. Now, everybody has now wondered, so why? Why do people who have military background, why do they succeed? Why do they have higher proportion or rate of success than civilians? That is to say, for example, 8 out of every 10 military person will succeed in business, whereas maybe 1 out of every 10 civilians succeed in business. Okay, so they found out it's just 1 or 2 things. Now, discipline. That is the attitude of discipline, or the knowledge that discipline overcomes, or the attitude that if you stick with a thing, that thing will fold. Or that if you stick with a thing, you get better than that thing. So they know. So while it's difficult for a civilian, for example, to get up regularly every day and do follow-up, so if you have decided that if you do 10 follow-ups every day, you would make at least 1 sale, Are you able to make 10 follow-ups every day? Do you have discipline to do that? A military person has been trained in the attitude of discipline. Do you get? So this is simply what you learn. This is simply the attitude that you pick as an eagle. And so that when people look at you and they think that you've had it easy, you will know that they just didn't know where you were coming from. The eagle takes the eaglet and throws the eaglet down from height. It's a fly or crash. It's a fly or die thing. So imagine having that attitude where it's a fly or die. How many people have that attitude? How many people approach life like that? Some people just complain. Chickens. Some people just hide with distractions, with entertainment. Ostriches. You are an eagle. You are an eagle. Thanks so much. I remain Ayo, and I've had a very wonderful time with you today. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and then please also drop your comments so that if there's other pertinent issues that you'd like me to discuss or you have questions, please do. And I'm always helping people make money, so you may want to check Olu Ayola 70. You want to check my website. There are several ways, several programs that I've created to help you make money. Practical. This series, what I just discussed now, is a mental attitude. Okay, but so then the question may now become: so now that I have an attitude, do you have somewhere where I can apply myself to and make money? Yeah, so we have a lot of that. So please go to oluayo70.com, all right, and then I'll be waiting for you with lots of goodies. And some of the goodies are free. Okay, so don't think that everything. In fact, all of our goodies are free or better than free. All right, so it's either it's free or you pay money and then we pay back the money to you, as long as you show commitment. So more than you pay to you. Okay, so yeah, so please go to Oluayo 70 and I'm waiting for you there. Have a wonderful and pleasant day. All right, thank you so much. Cheers.